Zurich, Switzerland, February 2016. The golden pillars of world football are in ruins. The FBI has just stormed the Lac luxury hotel, dragging FIFA executives out in bedsheets. Sepp Blatter, the undisputed king of the sport for nearly 2 decades, has been banished. Football is looking for a savior, or perhaps just a placeholder. Enter a bald, multilingual Swiss lawyer, known mostly for pulling plastic balls out of glass bowls during Champions League draws. He is the ultimate insider who somehow convinced the world he was an outsider. But as the cameras flash and the votes are counted, a quiet whisper echoes through the corridors of power. Did we just cure the disease, or did we simply perfect it? Every 4 years, the world stops. More than half of the human population unites to watch 22 players chase a leather sphere. It is a game of passion, of national pride, of pure, unfiltered beauty. But behind the beautiful game lies the world's most lucrative, secretive, and powerful cartel: FIFA. At the absolute apex of this empire sits one man, Gianni Infantino. To his supporters, he is the modernizer who saved football from bankruptcy and expanded the global game to corners of the earth long ignored by Eurocentric elites. To his critics, he is a Machiavellian technocrat who relocated to Qatar, courted authoritarian regimes, and commercialized the soul of the sport for unprecedented billions. But to truly understand the modern state of football, we must look beyond the VIP skyboxes and the gold-plated trophies. We must understand how a man who never played a single minute of professional football managed to capture the ultimate crown. To find the roots of Gianni Infantino's ambition, we have to travel to Brig, a small Swiss town nestled deep within the dramatic peaks of the Valais Alps. Born on March 23, 1970, Giovanni Vincenzo Infantino was the son of Italian immigrant workers. His father came from Calabria, his mother from Lombardy. They were working-class people who sought a better life in the sterile, highly organized world of Switzerland. Growing up as an Italian immigrant in Switzerland in the 1970s was not easy. It was an era marked by rising xenophobia and political campaigns aimed at restricting Italian immigration. Young Gianni learned early on what it felt like to be on the outside looking in. He wasn't fully Swiss, and he wasn't fully Italian. He existed in the space between. But football was his sanctuary. He played on the local pitch, though by his own admission, he lacked the natural talent to make it to the big leagues. Instead, he channeled his energy into his mind. He studied law at the University of Fribourg, mastering the art of negotiation, contracts, and systemic structures. He realized early on that while the players controlled the ball, it was the lawyers who controlled the pitch. With a law degree in hand, Infantino did not seek the spotlight of the courtroom. Instead, he sought the shadows of sports administration. He took a job as the Secretary General of the International Center for Sports Studies at the University of Neuchâtel. It was here that he began to decipher the complex matrix of sports law, governing bodies, and commercial partnerships. Then, in 2000, came the opportunity that would change his life. UEFA, the Union of European Football Associations, was looking for a sharp, multilingual legal mind. Infantino walked into the headquarters in Nyon, Switzerland, and immediately made himself indispensable. He spoke English, French, German, Italian, and Spanish fluently. He could negotiate a television deal in Munich in the morning, draft a regulatory framework in Paris in the afternoon, and charm Italian executives over dinner. Slowly, methodically, he climbed the ranks. By 2009, He was appointed UEFA's General Secretary. But to the public, he remained the guy who did the draws. For years, Infantino's face was synonymous with the UEFA Champions League draw. He was the friendly master of ceremonies, smiling as he explained the complicated mathematical rules of the tournament. It was a comfortable, highly lucrative role. But in May 2015, the ground beneath the entire football world fractured. The Swiss police, acting on U.S. Department of Justice indictments, descended upon the FIFA executive ranks. Decades of institutional bribery, kickbacks, and corruption were laid bare. The legendary Sepp Blatter was forced to resign. His heir apparent, Michel Platini, then the president of UEFA and Infantino's direct boss, was also banned from the sport over a controversial $2 million payment. UEFA was suddenly leaderless, and Europe was about to lose its grip on global football power. The European executives needed a candidate for the upcoming FIFA emergency election. But with Platini out, who was left? Infantino stood up. He was clean, he was highly competent, and most importantly, he was seen as a safe, controllable bureaucrat who would keep the seat warm until the storm passed. Or so they thought. Gianni Infantino's campaign for the FIFA presidency was a masterclass in political pragmatism. He knew that to win the presidency, he didn't need the backing of the European giants like Real Madrid or Manchester United. He needed the votes of the smaller nations. In FIFA's democratic system, every country has one vote. Montserrat's vote carries the exact same weight as Germany's. Infantino embarked on a relentless global tour. He didn't just visit the major football capitals. He traveled to remote islands in the Caribbean, small nations in Africa, and developing territories in Oceania. His promise was simple, powerful, and utterly irresistible. I will double your funding. I will expand the World Cup. I will bring the wealth of Europe to the rest of the world. On February 26, 2016, inside the Hallenstadion in Zurich, the votes were cast. In the second round of voting, Infantino secured 115 votes, defeating Sheikh Salman of Bahrain. The smiling lawyer who once pulled plastic balls from glass bowls was now the most powerful man in sports. Once in power, Infantino did not hesitate to dismantle the old order. He had promises to keep. His first major move was the expansion of the crown jewel of sports, the FIFA World Cup. Starting in 2026, the tournament would grow from 32 teams to a staggering 48 teams. Critics argued this would dilute the quality of the competition. But for dozens of nations that had never dreamed of qualifying, it was the ultimate gift. Under his leadership, FIFA's financial engine grew to unprecedented heights. By commercializing new tournaments, expanding sponsorships, and restructuring broadcasting rights, FIFA reported a record revenue of $7.6 billion for the 2019 to 2022 cycle. He also oversaw the widespread implementation of VAR, the Video Assistant Referee. Love it or hate it, VAR completely revolutionized the sporting landscape, bringing a digital, highly regulated era to the game and placing FIFA at the center of technological innovation. But with massive expansion came immense controversy. The crowning moment of Infantino's first terms was the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. The tournament was plagued by allegations of human rights abuses, the mistreatment of migrant workers, and the criminalization of the LGBTQ+ community. Infantino's response to the global criticism shocked the world. On the eve of the tournament, he delivered an extraordinary hour-long monologue to the global press.
Today, I have very strong feelings, I can tell you that. Today I feel Qatari. Today I feel Arab. Today I feel African. Today I feel gay. Today I feel disabled. Today I feel a migrant worker.
It was a speech designed to deflect Western criticism by accusing Europe of moral hypocrisy. To his detractors, it was a cynical, bizarre defense of a controversial regime. To his allies, it was a brave stand against Western arrogance. But Qatar was not the only point of friction. Under Infantino, FIFA moved to tighten its grip on the entire football ecosystem. He proposed a biennial World Cup, holding the tournament every 2 years instead of 4, a move that sparked a civil war with UEFA and South America's CONMEBOL. Though the plan was eventually shelved due to intense backlash from players and fans, it revealed the true scale of Infantino's ambition: absolute commercial dominance. Behind the public battles and the multi-billion-dollar deals, who is Gianni Infantino when the cameras turn off? In 2001, Infantino married Lina Al-Ashkar, a Lebanese sports administrator. The couple has 4 daughters. His family represents the same highly international, multicultural identity that Infantino projects to the world. In a move that raised eyebrows across the sporting world, Infantino relocated his family and his personal residence to Doha, Qatar. In the run-up to the 2022 World Cup, FIFA claimed the move was necessary to oversee the tournament's organization. However, critics saw it as a symbolic departure from Switzerland, a country where local prosecutors had opened criminal investigations into his private meetings with Switzerland's former Attorney General, Michael Lauber. Infantino has consistently denied any wrongdoing, and the Swiss investigations were eventually closed without charges, but the shadow of suspicion lingered. While the world knows the public figure, several details of Infantino's life remain obscure. As a young man, to fund his university education, Infantino worked as a low-wage railway worker in Switzerland, cleaning carriages and maintaining tracks. The man who now flies in private jets and dines with heads of state once swept the very trains his immigrant father helped maintain. Furthermore, Infantino's passion for football is deep, but his loyalty is surprising. Despite his long tenure at the head of European football, he is a passionate, lifelong supporter of Inter Milan, a club known for its dramatic, unpredictable history. And perhaps most interestingly, Infantino is one of the very few global leaders who holds dual Swiss and Italian citizenship, allowing him to navigate the complex diplomatic waters of both the European Union and non-EU Switzerland with complete legal fluidity. As Gianni Infantino looks toward the future, his legacy is already etched into the history of the world's game. He has transformed FIFA from a traditional European-dominated sports federation into a global, hyper-commercialized entertainment empire. To his supporters, he is a visionary who democratized football, distributing billions in revenue to developing nations that had been ignored for a century. He brought the World Cup to new frontiers, modernized the game with technology, and secured the financial survival of the sport for generations to come. To his critics, he has stripped the game of its romanticism. He is seen as the architect of a soulless, exhausting calendar that treats players as commodities and fans as open wallets. Under his watch, the line between sport and geopolitics has blurred completely, turning the World Cup into a platform for state-sponsored soft power.